Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I'm an alcoholic, and today, by the grace of God, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I could not be any more grateful. You hear me come on here all the time and talk about the importance of surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, surrounding yourself with people who share the same problem and the same solution and the same goal that you do, which is to make it to the end of your day drawing a sober breath. That's so important. Why? Why is that so important? Well, for me, there's a myriad of reasons, by the way. You become what you surround yourself with, so that's for starters. But for me, it comes down to hope. See, I want to get my cup filled up, if you will. That's my spiritual cup filled up, and I want it to be filled up with this hope, because I didn't have hope. I didn't have hope that I, was going to be able to stop drinking. I thought for sure that I was going to live the rest of my life stressing out on whether or not I had enough booze stashed around my house to make it to my next pass out, stressing out on if I had enough time to make it to the liquor store to get another bottle of Wild Turkey, stressing out over what did I say last night or what did I do. I had no hope at all. And coming into the rooms, starting to hang out with like-minded individuals, I started getting my cup filled up with a little bit of hope. Hope. That's why it's important. I hang out with like-minded individuals who can share their experience, their strength, and their hope with me. It's important for me to fill up my cup. And I do that through meetings. Now, these meetings, I've said this 1,000 times, these meetings can take place in a myriad different ways of shapes and sizes, and they can take on many different things, if you will. They can happen in a traditional formal setting where you go into a church. They have 25 minutes of readings and formalities and announcements and all this parliamentary rules, and great, because we don't want a bunch of drunks. We have a bunch of drunks running it. That's fine. You go in and have your 25 minutes reading. You talk once, and if you talk more than once, you're double dipping. Don't you do that. Don't you be a free thinker. That can be a way. In fact, that's how I started. That's how I still go to meetings like that, to where they're the more formal traditional meetings. Not every meeting, matter of fact, the majority of meetings, traditional meetings, are not like that, by the way. I'm only referring to a few that I don't go to anymore. That's beside the point. Meetings can take place in the grocery store, aisle number 7 of your local Walmart. Of Kroger's, in the 7-Eleven parking lot. I speak from experience. There's a guy that I talk to at the gym regularly. I see him. His wife is an alcoholic. He's not. And he and I sit and talk a lot about the challenges that he's facing. That's a meeting. Meetings can even happen in the Waffle House. And if you know me well, you know that is usually par for the course for me. Yesterday was certainly no exception. I did ask permission to share parts of this story. I did ask permission to use his name, so I wanted to kind of segue into that a little bit. Yesterday evening, I was supposed to meet with Lucky. Lucky's been coming to our meetings, and this guy, the more I get to know him, the more I find out that we're really the lucky ones, because this guy is locked in, man. He's locked in and loaded. You set off a nuclear bomb beside him, he's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Let's get shit done. I mean, this guy's locked in, and oh my God, it's awesome. That's what I love about him. But anyway, he and I were supposed to meet yesterday evening, and we were going to go through the big book. And yesterday morning, by coincidence, by chance, maybe, text him and say, hey, I'm free. You want to meet this morning? He's like, yeah, sure. And I said, where? He said, there's a Waffle House right, closest to my house. I said, sounds good. I'm there. Me and my 3-egg omelet. And I'll see you there in 20 minutes. We both showed up 25 minutes later, and we're sitting there. It's kind of packed, but the high bar came open, and he said, hey, you want to grab a seat up here? And I said, no. I said, I want that booth over there on the back wall. There's a booth over there. And he said, well, okay. So we got up, and it wasn't even cleaned off. I don't think it was cleaned off at the time. But we got up, walked over there, and sat down, and start cleaning it off ourselves. And we sat there and started talking about recovery, the recovery community, and how there's a void. There is a need in the recovery community to get out of this entrenched ideology of you can only recover based upon these certain rules. And, he's already started noticing some issues. He and I shared that. We talked about that yesterday. About some of the different issues that he's noticed. I shared with him some of my issues that I noticed over the last couple of years anyway, and why we started Crosstalk, why we started the Degeneration, the Recovery Classroom, and all that stuff. And the whole time we're talking, this first hour that we're talking, we didn't even bring up the big book, I don't think. I think we were just talking about recovery, the recovery community in general. There's some folks that sat down right behind him. And while we're talking over the course of this hour or whatever, they keep looking over at us. And I remember at one point I was thinking, they must know somebody behind me. You know, am I in their way? I was kind of, I was like, I don't want to be rude and move into their way. So, but anyway, lo and behold, they finally spoke up. The young lady finally spoke up. She said, hey, I hate to interrupt. Can I ask you guys a question? I'm like, yeah, sure. What? She's like, what meetings do you guys go to? What meetings do you guys go to? And Lucky and I were kind of both just like, wait a minute, what's going on here, And we said the crosstalk meeting. We talk about the crosstalk every Tuesday and Friday night, P Region 9 Methodist Church. And lo and behold, these three individuals were sitting there. They too are in recovery. And they were talking about the very same things that Lucky and I were talking about these rules, how it's so tough to get engaged with the recovery community because they're more concerned about the rules than they are the steps. They're more concerned about telling you and making sure that you recover the way that they want you to recover rather than the fact that you're just recovering. What are the chances of that? Lucky and I just got lucky and just randomly picked. I mean, what are the odds? Talk about being lucky. It's a terrible joke, but you get what I'm saying. These folks, we sat there, and next thing you know, we're into a full-on AA meeting right there in the middle of the fucking Waffle House, and I was loving it. I was laughing. I wasn't laughing. I was just overwhelmed because the sheer chances of all the stars aligning in their courses. One of the gentlemen there, he told me at one point he was even suicidal. And he said that, and I was thinking, oh my God, what would have happened had he walked into a room? He even said, I did the right thing. I spoke up. I said something. And when he said that, in my brain, I was like, oh my God, what would have happened had he walked into a room and somebody told him to sit down and be quiet because he didn't have enough sobriety time under his belt? You ever heard that? You don't have anything to participate. You don't have anything to contribute to this conversation because you've not been sober for 90 days? As a community, as a recovery community, there is a need. And the reason why that need even exists is not so much because of alcohol or drugs anymore. It's because we've created these fucking rules and demanded that people only say this word or they can't say that word. We've created these rules and demanded that in order for you to successfully recover, you have to do it exactly the way that these rules say. Quit worrying about the fucking rules and start worrying about the recovery. Why are we so worried about rules? I get it, and I even shared yesterday with those folks. Our crosstalk meeting, yeah, there's rules, but the rules are designed to foster and nurture the dialogue, not stroke somebody's fucking ego. Sorry, I'm getting a little fired up. I'm going to try to calm down. With that being said, it is important. It is incredibly important that you show up to meetings to get your cup filled up. Because if your cup starts running a little low and all you're doing is trying to give out, remember, we're told early on, once you get it, you got to give it away. I can't give you something I don't have. So while I'm giving it away, I have to get my cup filled up too. But lo and behold, I just had this conversation last night with an alcoholic. If I'm giving out more than I'm taking in, sounds like I need to find a new meeting. Sounds like I need to find a new situation. Sounds like I need to find a new environment. And that's the beauty of what we do at the Crosstalk meeting. Every Tuesday and Friday night, if you're local to the Huntington, West Virginia area, come on down and hang out with us. You may like it. I think you will like it. You may not. That's fair too. But I think you will. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober. And I cannot be any more appreciative. We will be talking again soon. Crosstalk meeting Tuesday night, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We'll see you then. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.